Hey everybody, welcome to this next lesson. We're going to discuss high performance hacks, and I want to focus on some habits here that you need to develop in order to not only create success in your life and business, but how to maintain that throughout the course of your business and your life. So the first thing that I want to touch on is your morning routine. It's very important. It's how you start the day. So to put it simply, if you win the morning, you're going to win the day. So how do you win the morning? What does that mean? Doing something as simple as making your bed in the morning can make a huge difference in impact on the rest of your day. It can give you a sense of accomplishment or a small win to start the day. Even this small little act of making your bed can really start your day off right, okay? I'm going to share what I do every morning and why I do these things. And the idea behind having a morning routine, again, is to win the day. When you win the morning, you win the day. I really forget where I heard this from, but it really resonated with me, and I hope that it resonates with you as well, because it could not be more true. Now, I'm not saying that what I do every morning is the only way to do a morning routine, okay? There's many things that you can do, so choose whatever choose whatever suits you best, okay? The idea behind going over my morning routine is to spark your imagination, give you ideas. You can do the same things that I do, but doing something similar or giving you some kind of ideas to start the day strong. The idea here is you want to start the day strong so that the rest of your day goes smoothly and you have success. And the other thing here that I want to touch on quickly is, you don't need to run a marathon or write a novel every morning to win the morning, okay? You can keep your morning routine realistic and manageable so that you actually do these things, okay? In the past, I used to set my goals way too high for my morning routine, okay? I'd plan to run for 2 hours, but then I'd end up avoiding running in the mornings altogether because I didn't want to run for 2 hours, okay? So now I keep it much more simpler and easy to manage, things that I know that I'm actually going to do, okay? So the first thing here that I do when I wake up is I go straight to the bathroom and I splash really cold water on my face several times. This really wakes me up, okay? That's the idea. It's to wake up. One level up from this is to actually take a cold shower, and it only has to be for 30 or 60 seconds. I mean, you can do that with really, really cold water. I personally can't bring myself to do this first thing in the morning. I actually do it if and when I take showers later in the day. But, again, you got to keep it realistic for what you want to do. And I haven't gotten myself to do this in the morning. So if that's your thing, then by all means do this, okay? Again, it's not about running a marathon or doing something that you're not going to do. It's all about keeping your daily routine realistic and manageable, and whatever that looks like to you personally, okay? If you're a marathon runner, yeah, go run 10 miles or whatever. But if you're not, if you're overweight and you've never exercised a day in your life, then, set your goal to do, 10 air squats in the morning, okay? You can keep it really simple, whatever this looks like to you, okay? The next thing that I do after splashing the cold water on my face is I go to a quiet and private place and I meditate for about 10 minutes. I'll tell you that when I first started meditating, I tried to do it right when I woke up while I was still lying in bed. And I found that when I did this, I was either, trying to fall back asleep, because my eyes are closed, or I just couldn't really meditate. because I just wasn't awake enough yet. So that's why I get out of bed and I splash water on my face, and it makes a world of difference. I give myself a chance to wake up, so that I can actually, have a good short little meditation session. So I start off the meditation by going over all the things that I'm grateful for. I focus on my wife and my daughter for the most part, and then I give them, and then I give thanks for how great my life is, okay? And you might be thinking, well, my life isn't great right now, etc. Well, that's what I thought when I first started doing this too, okay? There's two responses to that, okay? First of all, you got to fake it until you can make it, okay? So if you feel like your life isn't where it should be at that moment, then you have to pretend that it is, okay? You have to pretend that it is and be grateful for the things that you wish that you had, okay? Next, what you can do is you can always find something to be grateful for. No matter how, bad you feel your life is, you can always be grateful for something, okay? Even a homeless person on the street, okay? Maybe they're living in the winter in Chicago, and it's a beautiful sunny day. They can be thankful for that sunny day. They can be thankful that they're alive. There's many, many things that you can be thankful for. You just have to use your imagination, okay? The key is again, about this being grateful, is not what you're grateful for. So it doesn't matter, don't stress about, well, should I be grateful for my car or my daughter? It could be whatever you want. The key is opening up yourself for being grateful in general, and the reason is because the universe, or God if you prefer, tends to reward those who are grateful. Trust me, this works. The next thing I focus on in my meditation is love. I focus on trying to greet everything and everyone I come into contact with love. I'm talking about the animals I see, my work, my customers, my relationships, my wife, my daughter. And the reason behind this is because, there's so much tension in the world. It's easy to get mad at the guy who cuts you off on the freeway, or the barista at Starbucks who gets your name wrong, or a number of other things that can happen throughout your day. If you have love in your heart and are showing that, you tend to get love back, all right? You get what you give. I know this stuff might seem, a little hippie to some people, and I'll admit I'm half hippie, half capitalist, but I promise you guys this stuff really, really works. When you have love in your heart, you're happier. When you're happier, you have better relationships with your family and friends. When you have better relationships with your family and friends, you do better work and you make more money. Everything is connected. You need to understand that. The last thing that I focus on in my meditation is just going over things that I have to do that day and greeting them with a calm mind so that I'm not getting overwhelmed later in the day by the tasks at hand. This is all about setting my mind right for the day ahead. I talk myself up by saying, today's going to be a good day. You got this. There's this project that you have to do. And I just envision myself doing it successfully, kind of stuff like that. So the next thing I do here after my meditation is I go to my office, my home office, where I have a poster board that I made up on the wall. This poster board is full of mantras that I've written down, mantras or sayings that I read out loud. You don't have to scream them. I kind of say it under my breath because I don't really like saying it where other people can hear it in the house. I'm somewhat private, so I like to keep these mantras to myself. But here's one of them. so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. And it goes like this. I will live this day as if it was my last. I will not waste a moment mourning yesterday's defeats, for why should I waste a good day? And essentially, that's me reminding myself that yesterday doesn't matter. Okay, if I tried to get a sale and the customer backed out, that doesn't matter. We all have defeats or failures that we experience in life, on a daily basis, but it's important not to dwell on them, because if you do, then you're not going to be able to move forward. Okay, same thing kind of works for successes. Okay, that's another thing that I kind of have on my board as well. I'm actually reading it right now. Let's see where it is. Okay, so one of the mantras I have is, I will laugh at the world. I will not take myself or anything too seriously. I will laugh at my failures, and I will laugh at my successes. So that's kind of, same kind of thing here, that your successes or your failures don't matter, because if you linger on your failures, it's going to keep you from moving forward. Also, if you linger on your successes, if you cling to one little success, it's going to be 5 years until you have another success, because, you think that you accomplished something. You want to keep moving forward, okay? Yesterday doesn't matter. Do the task at hand, and focus on that single day, okay? The last thing here that I do is something that I do to really get myself pumped up for the day and really get my juices flowing. What I do is I stand up and I pump my arms up and down above my head, kind of like, if you've ever lifted weights, kind of a shoulder press, but without my fists clenched. So with kind of like a pump up, that dance move, something, you raise the roof. Okay, that's it. Kind of like that. But I do it really, really fast and really, really hard, with pressure in my muscles. So I'm kind of tightening my muscles as I'm doing it. And I do this really hard and really fast and as hard as I can do it, for about 30 seconds. When I first started doing it, I couldn't do it for 30 seconds, because, I'm going literally as hard as I can go. But now I can do it for about 30 seconds. So, and that gets the juices flowing, and really pumps me up for the day. And then what I do right after that is pump myself up some more, with some air punches, and sometimes I even throw in a kick or two. It really activates me and gets me pumped up for the day. Again, you don't have to do these things, but just kind of the general, focus on the why I'm doing these things. In this particular case, I'm doing it to kind of pump myself up. Maybe you're a woman and not that women don't like to get pumped up, but maybe you get pumped up in a different way and you don't want to do air punches, okay? Maybe you want to, I don't know, do a yoga pose. That pumps you up. Just do whatever you want to do to kind of like get you motivated for the day ahead. And so all of that, the meditation, the mantras, the pump up and everything, that all takes me about just 25 minutes. So it's really manageable and easy. Everybody has 20 minutes in the morning, and these things are, easy to implement and not some huge undertaking that I'm not going to do. These few simple steps that I've implemented into my life every morning have made a world of difference in my life, both in business and in my relationships. All right, so the next thing here that we're going to focus on is the nighttime routine. So your nighttime routine is just as important as your morning routine. And I'll go over what I do, and why I do it, so hopefully it can inspire you to include some of your own activities at night. So in the past, I would be working on the computer until the moment I'd start getting ready for bed. and then I'd be on my smartphone in bed for another 20 minutes before finally putting my phone away and then trying to go to sleep. What all this screen time did before bed, it kept my brain activated, and it's going to keep your brain activated as well. And it takes a long time for your brain to shut down. So what I do is I have to lay in bed, awake in a bed for another hour before I could fall asleep because my brain hadn't shut down. I was wasting so much time by doing this. So now what I do is I turn off all my screens. I don't look at any screens. I put my phone on airplane mode an hour before bedtime. I put my computer on airplane mode as well. And in that time, what I've done is introduce a new habit of reading. All right. And so not only am I doing an activity that will help me grow personally and professionally by reading, but I'm also allowing my brain to shut down. You know, who doesn't get sleepy while they're reading in bed? I know that it puts me to sleep really nicely. So now I'm falling asleep right away when I finally try to sleep. With this one simple thing, I've now eliminated an hour and 20 minutes of wasted time in my life. All right. Now I sleep better and longer and have a much better health because of it. After I read, I lay in bed and I do a shortened mini version of my morning meditation session, and I make sure to go over all the things I'm grateful for in my life, and that's really basically it. The reason that I just focus on what I'm grateful for and not kind of go over the specifics of, you know, the tasks I have to do tomorrow is because I don't want to be thinking about that as the last thing I do before I go to bed, because then I'm going to be thinking about business in kind of, that's what I do, is because I used to do that in my meditation, and what it would do is get me thinking about work, and I'd just be laying there in bed thinking about work and not being able to fall asleep. So that's why I just kind of focus on what I'm grateful for, and it's another way to kind of make sure that you're able to go to sleep. The next thing I want to focus on is diet. Now, before I talk about this session, I think it's important to know where I personally came from. You know, I wasn't raised on a farm eating all organic fruits and vegetables. You know, I grew up like a lot of people eating fast food almost every single day, at least once a day. And the reason I'm telling you this ahead of time, because I want you to know that it's not impossible to change your habits or your life. Okay, this was, you know, 18 years of that habit of eating fast food and eating like crap all the time, even if it wasn't fast food, that I was, you know, gradually able to change and break that pattern. So the next thing here is I see a lot of people talking about how they don't have energy, or that they're getting really tired in the middle of the day, and that's after lunch. After lunchtime. And there's really one simple solution to that. You notice a lot of the things that I'm talking about here are stuff that's everybody knows about, but just doesn't really think to do. They want to take the easy way out. But oftentimes the simplest solution is really the best. So a very simple solution to making sure that you have energy throughout the day is changing what you eat. All right. Most of the time, people that get tired after midday, they're eating carbs and sugar and soda and bread and stuff like that at lunchtime, and these things will make you tired. Period. Okay. And what you want to do is stick to, you know, meats and proteins, veggies, eggs, stuff like that. And once you do that, you're going to have a lot more energy, and instead of slowing down, you can speed up, okay? And don't get me wrong, you know, I love carbs and sugar just as much as the next person. But the key is to save those kinds of foods for the dinner time. Okay, if you want to eat those, you can eat it at dinner time. I personally try to avoid them as much as possible, even at dinner time. But if you eat it at dinner time, what you're doing is you don't have to worry about being tired because it's nighttime and you can just go to bed. And you can get rest, and then you'll be awake for the next day. The next thing that I do here, this is really new to me, but I'm really, really loving it, and I highly recommend it. And that is intermittent fasting. And what that is I don't eat from about 7 p.m. At night until about 11 a.m. The next morning. I'm drinking water, milk, bone broth, stuff like that. Sometimes, every now and then, I'll throw in, a nut or two in my mouth in the morning or sometimes at night to kind of just hold me over. But nothing more than that, nothing substantial. The rest is just liquids. And I know this is going to sound counterintuitive to what most of us have been taught growing up in America. I know it is from what I was taught and how I grew up. But intermittent fasting actually gives you more energy and more clarity in your mind and better overall health. Now the key is not to just not eat or eat less, but also to eat the right things for when you do eventually eat, okay? Because otherwise you're going to actually hurt yourself even more when you're doing intermittent fasting if the first thing you eat is, a meal from McDonald's, okay? That's definitely the opposite of what you should be doing. So this intermittent fasting has lots of benefits. It clears your mind. When I do it, I'm so much clear-headed, and I do some of my best work during this time. The next thing here, and I want to focus on, is exercise. There are so many benefits to exercising. But first, I want to address your objections, if you have any. So, a lot of people use the excuse that they don't have enough energy to work out, either saying that they work too much or being with their family and kids. But newsflash, you don't have energy because you don't work out, okay? When you work out, you get more energy to do all of the things that you want to do in life. Another excuse that I hear thrown out around a lot is that people don't have enough time. And again, this is just an excuse if you're really being honest with yourself. Maybe you'll have to cut out another activity of your life. Maybe watch one less Netflix show at night. Whatever you have to do, there's always time. You can easily fit a 20-minute workout into your day. Who doesn't have 20 minutes in their day to work out? Okay, we all do. When you exercise, your body releases endorphins into your brain that make you happier, give you more energy, and give you a clearer head. These are obviously going to propel you in your business life. And aside from that, you're going to look better. When you look better, you feel better. It's really as simple as that. And you don't have to run a marathon a day either, okay? This is all about keeping stuff simple and manageable, okay? You can do a simple at-home exercise. That's really all you need. Even just going for a 20-minute walk is going to benefit you tremendously. I cannot tell you how many times I've been stressed or feeling anxious about a particular task or something in business or in life, really, and then go on a walk, and then the stress and anxiety magically disappear. Part of this is because you're able to disconnect from your work and be alone with your thoughts, all right? It's basically another form of meditation. Okay, so these simple processes, okay, that I've talked about today have helped me tremendously. I get better sleep, I'm happier, I handle stress better, I'm more productive, I have a better relationship with my wife, and I make more money. It's as simple as that.